Welcome to the All Jammed Up podcast presented to you by Music Never Stopped. Today is Monday, September 8th, and today on the podcast we have Kodi Nottingham.
What are you doing, podcast for lot?
Yeah.
Come be on a lot podcast.
Yeah, hell yeah, All Jammed Up.
This dude's doing a podcast. If you want to be on some podcast, come give an interview.
Hell yeah.
All
Good morning, fools. Welcome to the All Jammed Up podcast. I'm your host, Clint Dotson, and happy Monday, folks. I didn't get to see any music this weekend. Kind of a busy weekend. I had to work. Saturday was my buddy's birthday. Sunday was football, and my soccer season started too. Yeah, I play soccer. No big deal. Today on the podcast, though, we have polarizing guy, I guess you can say, in the jam band community. Noted fish hater, the chair bandit, the poster folder, Kodi Nottingham. He's on the podcast. He does the What's the Reason for This podcast. Super cool dude. Him and I have been going back and forth talking on Instagram for shit. As soon as I started the podcast, he kind of reached out to me really early, I feel like. So he's a really good dude. And I didn't really know too much about him, so I'm glad that I got to sit down with him for over an hour. And we talk about all kinds of things. And, having imposter syndrome starting this, and we get to hear the stories about the poster folding and the chairs. And just talk about learning from fucking up and taking risks too, man. Like, I feel like him and I were kind of in similar spots, and I was working a job that I didn't like and just kind of stuck in this rut while still trying to do the podcast. And I kind of took the summer off to work a little less relaxing or a little less stressful of a job, and I guess you could say focus on the podcast, a little more focus on things that I want to do. And I just kind of resonated with his story as well in that. So I think it's a really great episode. We propose a friendly wager, but we're going to let the listeners, the folks on Instagram, decide what the wager is. And it's about football, so it's kind of near the end of the episode to check out. But I think this is a great episode, man. Kodi's a pro. He knows what he's doing when he's on a podcast. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Kodi Nottingham from What's the Reason for This?
Hey, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the
Everybody
procedure,
stay calm.
everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
Alrighty, guys, we're here with Kodi Nottingham. Nice to finally get to talk to you, dude.
What's going on, man? I'm not a hard person to find. I promise you that.
Well, you being in Denver, me being in Asheville, it makes it a little more.
Yes, we haven't gotten the embrace of a true bro hug yet, but
Exactly.
it'll come soon enough, buddy. It'll come soon enough.
What does your the street sign say on your thing?
Dude, that's Waymata Circle. So for my old school Panic fans, it is the street that they lived on when they were in Athens.
Oh, okay. I'm about to dox myself, but I live on Circle, so I was like, no way, that's the same thing.
Dude, no, it's all good. What's wild is it's actually a crazy story. I live next to this beautiful, like, Christian family, like, polar opposite of my lifestyle, right? And they always come into my house, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry for the smell. But they're like, oh my God, I played softball at UGA, blah, 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 go dogs, all this nonsense. And I was wearing a widespread shirt, and they're like, oh, you like that band? I was like, yeah, I like that band. And the dude walked to his garage, came back with this sign. He's like, Jody used to live on that street. We stole the sign. We've been carrying it for like 20 years, and we have never knew what to do with it. And I was like, well, now you do. And I told him that I would definitely put it up for season 2. And now I'm keeping true. What's funny is Home Team saw I made a post about it, and Home Team was like, well, you know where that belongs. And I was like, hey, I'll give it to you guys after I get my 1 years out of it. So Home Team, it's coming to you eventually. No, bro, I can't give it to them. They deserve it, man. Like, or somebody else can just go out there and steal the sign.
You guys
Not
have
me.
You guys have a home team in Denver, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Dude, with the Panic Run, like, how could you not, right?
Well, I have a homie who lives in Charleston, and I guess that's like where it started. So every time I go there, I always get it. And I'm like, I feel like if you're going to have, because they have one in Greenville too, which is like in between Charleston and Asheville. And I'm like, I feel like the next place in line should be Asheville. We should fucking have one. But
Yeah, it's wild that you don't, especially for, like, being the South, right? Like,
yeah,
Denver, it's just because we're a bunch of wooks with Red Rocks, so why wouldn't you? But, like, out there, for sure, because that's where they got their foundation out.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. So you tell the guys at home team, like, they get the sign when they open home
Okay,
team
I was just
United.
gonna say, here's the deal. Open one in Asheville, I'll send you the sign.
There we
Thousand
go.
percent. Even if it happens in the middle of the year, we'll get shit done.
Yeah, and you mentioned being on season two. What? So I just have been just going. I don't have seasons or anything. What kind of was like your breakup between that? What? Why'd you do that? Because you didn't really
So it was
stop. You put one out today, right?
no, yeah, it's been 1 year. We put one
Oh,
out
okay.
on Tuesday. So what's weird was I every year I had challenged myself to do something different in August on my birthday.
Okay.
So like 1 year I started writing a book. Another year I did a year stand-up comedy. Last year I did the podcast. I was just like, ah, fuck it. Like
Yeah.
let's see. Obviously all that internet shit happened and Frasco. Uh, and then he's like, buddy, you got the personality for this. Like, let's ride it out. And so I did. I had no intentions, no idea of what the fuck was gonna happen,
Yeah.
dude. And I've been riding it, man. And
Hmm.
I I have been so blessed because like for the people that know me, they know like music is like the thing that makes my heart sing, right? Like
Yeah.
music has played a huge role in my life since I was a teenager to now being a father, right? And so like for me to have like a podcast or whatever, just somewhere to talk about music because I don't know about you, but for me as I grew up and then I got farther and farther away from college, it was harder and harder to make connections with people, right?
Yeah.
And like find friends. And like
Absolutely.
how do you link up with somebody that like likes the same stuff as you or wants to hang out? Like I can't explain like Ween to people, right? Like you either have to like be into Ween or not into Ween, right? And it's the
Yeah.
same thing with like jam bands or bluegrass or whatever. And I listen to a bunch of different music. But what's cool is like I'm a poster junkie. So I go to these shows early, I hang out in line, I get to meet people, and some of my closest and best friends came from that music scene.
Hmm.
So then to like have an opportunity to like talk about music and talk about love and like what we're doing and giving people an opportunity to highlight maybe some folks that don't get in the light like they should or even like a genre, right? Like I just posted something about the things you said about bluegrass before you listened to Billy
Yeah.
Strings, right?
Yep.
But it's like it's so cool now that there are so many people that are like getting into it because of Billy Strings or
Hmm.
insert any artist to any genre, right? Like look at like Dogs in a Pile and what they're doing for like the younger scene and like all this stuff, right? Like
Yeah.
there there are trains that are on these tracks, right? And for me, I am just so blessed to be like in the station watching them pass by,
It's a good way to
right?
put it. Yeah.
And now to have like this little seat, right? Like I'm nowhere near anything important or anything like that, but even to have a seat on that train as it like goes down these tracks and then all the people that are on that fucking train, right?
Hmm.
And like all these relationships that start building and it's been so cool, dude. In like 1 year, like for me just like bullshitting in the dungeon with Shay to like we were official like we got press passes to Rocky Grass like I got to interview Bela Fleck like 15
Yeah.
minutes. I
Yeah.
don't care. Like dude, are you kidding me? Like that was literally like one of the pinnacles in my music fandom and like I was just like I you can watch the video. I literally just fucking stare at his eyes for 15 minutes and I'm just like burning a hole through him. But like it's been dude so cool and I am so blessed. And obviously there's a lot that comes into it and goes into it as you well know.
Hmm.
Bro, it is a lot of work. So first off, props to you because I personally know all the shit that goes on behind and like trying to get stuff done and like get people scheduled, keeping them on schedule, having gear, doing events like social media, like all this shit. It's just like and then people are like, fuck you, you're a terrible human being. And it's like, God damn it, man. Like, what the
And
fuck?
do you have a schedule, or do you just release them when they're ready?
So we usually either do Mondays or Friday releases, but
Okay.
then I'm like on I'll be perfectly honest with like analytics, Friday releases aren't as good for us.
Hmm.
Because through the weekend people are going to see music and do shit, right? But then sometimes we're like, fuck, we need to get this episode out to help promote whatever, and like they could only record on a Thursday, so it's like, all right, shit, well, we're just gonna like get it out. Like we have the IBMAs next week,
Okay.
so we'll have somebody on that we're recording before that we're gonna have to like release right then to like get out. But then everybody's gonna be there, so it's like
Mm-hmm.
it is what it is. But I mean, I always tell this to everyone, Clint. I don't know shit about fuck. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, me either, man. I
Dude,
decided when I started, I was like, I'm gonna do Monday to Thursday and just stick to that schedule because I need like the schedule. And now I'm just like, I still haven't missed a Monday or Thursday since I've started. But like you said, dude, last night, so like, it takes forever to upload because I do it through Spotify, and like,
bro, it's the worst. It is the worst. And if you want any decent quality, it's like multiple gigabytes of video
yep.
that you have to upload, and then you're just like, yeah, go ahead. Sorry, that
Last
fucking sucks.
last night I got like caught up in stuff, so I had to put out today's episode, today being Thursday, and I uploaded it. And I usually get up to go pee at like 3 or 4 in the morning, so I was like, I'll just publish it at then, so it's out by 5 in the morning. So that's when I schedule them to go out. I fucking get up to go pee at 3 in the morning, and my cord came out of my computer, and my computer was
No,
dead.
it died.
So it
Yes,
just did.
dude.
So I'm
Oh
up
my
at
god.
3 in the morning in my underwear, just like
Trying
trying to
to.
plug it in. My girlfriend's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "The damn computer turned off."
Like, you don't understand. It's gotta upload
It's
before
gotta
this
go out
time so
today.
that it was
Can't miss
scheduled.
one.
Bro, and it's wild because like I was definitely a slave too. I was like, no, I'm not gonna fucking do this. And I'd have people like text me, be like, hey, I don't see the episode. What's going on? Blah 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 blah. I'm like, fuck. Like awesome. I'm
Yeah.
sorry to complain. Like shit. I'm so happy that you want them out, right?
Same. Yeah.
But like shit happens, right? And
Mm-hmm.
like it's wild. And I don't think that people realize like how much goes into it from like, okay, so first off, you have to have an idea of like who you're trying to get, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what your process is like, but it's like, okay, I got to shoot all these fucking shots, right? Just like see where I'm gonna land, uh, and then you're at the ebb and flow of their schedule, right? So people are like, oh, I can do it this or that time and this time and this time, and you're like, well, fuck. You're lucky you only have to deal with one person. I also then have to fucking text Shay and be like,
Oh
hey, you
yeah.
dickhead, can you do this? And he'd be like, bro, I got work. Thank God he got fired because we've been able to. Sorry, Shay, I love you. I know you're looking for another job, but dude, while he's been unemployed, I've been able to just bang things out, right? And it's
Yeah.
like, hey, dude, whatever time, like, here's, because he's like, okay, well, I can do Monday through Thursday after 4 o'clock. I'm like, motherfucker, that's when bands are playing. Like, they can't do that.
Yeah.
So it's a wild balance, and people don't see like, okay, then you schedule them, then you get it on here, then you have to edit it, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
you have to like make sure that you're adding your captions, and like AI captions are great, but they're also like very flawed.
Yeah.
So
You
it's
gotta
this
make the
balance, and
thumbnail. There's just so many little things that like you don't think of that take 15, 20 minutes, and it all adds up.
bro, but that's where what we need to do is, I don't know if you're anything like me. I do not ask shit from anyone ever. So I'm just like, hey, I'll just do this. But I've had so many people come up to me, be like, hey, man, if you need help. And I'm like, oh, that's super cool. But I would never fucking ask you. But what we should do is accept that help, right? Because, like,
Yeah.
one of our homies could easily make us a fucking episode tile, right? Like, it's not like it's that hard.
I've been teaching
Um,
my girlfriend like slowly how to do things, but then when I let her do it, I'm just like over her shoulder. I'm like, make sure you're doing it like this. Make sure you're doing this.
and then she hates you, right?
Yeah,
That's why
exactly.
my wife, shout out to my wife. Everybody's always like, how do you do this? I'm like, I could not do this without Nicole. And then she's always like, oh, are you going to go have fun while I watch the kids? I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
yes. uh, but yeah, man, it's using your network and figuring out like, hey, what can you do? And I've had a lot of blessings and a lot of good people around that have hooked me up, right, in numerous ways. Like, fucking, you get
That's a
people
fire
sending you
shit.
shit, right,
Yeah.
and it's. Dude, yeah. So Shakedown Styles, shout out to Ronnie. But like you get shit, and people are super appreciative, and that's what's so dope about this community is like it's welcoming, it's warming, right? Like once people like
Hmm.
figure you out and they know that you're genuine and you're real and what your intentions are, it's fucking awesome. Now sometimes you got to break through uh,
That
to
was the
get to
thing I
that place.
struggled with when I started this, because like the reason I started it is like I feel like you kind of. We'll get into the whole poster thing for the people that don't know, but I like I kind of started because I was like, I want to be more involved, but I don't know how. But I'm good at like talking to people, so I'll just start this podcast. And like when I was just reaching out to people, like in the very beginning, I was like, dude, no one wants to come on my podcast. Like they don't know who I am. And like you said, like everyone was always so stoked to come on just because like what the community is. But it's hard at the beginning. I was like, no one knows who the fuck I am. They don't want to do this.
Yeah, but bro, and then that's when you start figuring out like they're all regular people,
Yeah.
right? And then you
Hmm.
like start because initially I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll do this and I'll ask this. Like I would have never thought like, and then eventually I was like, fuck it. Like, who cares if they say no, whatever. And I remember one of like the first guest was Toby, and then the second guest was the CEO of Cash or Trade. And I
Yeah.
was like, dude, I had shot a shot on LinkedIn. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, why the fuck do you want to come on? But yes. And it was fucking awesome. And it was a great conversation. But then at that point, I was like, all right, well, fuck it. And then I just reached out to like people that I really liked. That I knew were local here in Denver. So like Andy Hall of the Dusters. I was like,
Hmm.
oh, bro, Andy Hall. I just want to ask him what he does with his hair. Uh, and dude, he came on. He drove to my house in a snowstorm. And for those that don't know, his wife is a hairstylist, and so that's why
Hmm.
he is so fresh all the time and crispy. Because you better believe I got to ask him about his hair routine.
My first interview was I just shot my shot too with like all my favorite bands like Donato, Dogs in a Pile, like all these guys. And Jimmy Law, who was like my favorite, one of my favorite guitarists, that was my very first interview, and I was just like, "Hey man, are you ready?" And like, I didn't know how to do any of the recording shit, and I was just like kind of freaking out, and I was like, and then I finished it, and like when we stopped recording, he was like, "Hey man, that was a lot of fun. Keep in touch," and I was like, "These guys are fucking just normal people."
Dude, and it's wild. And then they mean it too.
Yeah,
They're like,
yeah.
"Oh, here I'd love to," like
I've seen
fucking
him a
Peter
bunch now
Rowan.
since then.
Yeah, it's wild. Like Peter Rowan, I could not fucking believe when Peter Rowan agreed to be interviewed. And then he sent me an email after. He's like, "Oh, it was so nice talking to you. I really look forward to continuing the conversation." That motherfucker found me at Rocky Grass because he saw me on the media list and he introduced himself to say hi in real, and I was like, "Man,
Damn.
that is like the coolest shit ever."
Yeah.
Because like for me, like Peter Rowan is like the OG of OGs, right? And
Hmm.
like it was so cool. And it's just awesome because then that's what you see is like what's happening. And then like from there you're making connections with all sorts of different people. And then what's fun is like they just want like a regular conversation, right? Like
Yeah.
you and I are just bullshitting and that's it. Sometimes they're like, "Hey, do you have a list of questions that you're gonna ask?" And I'm like, nope. I just kind of fly by the seat of my pants and we see where it goes."
Yeah. Yeah, I always prepare a few, but I'm like, ideally, I don't have to ask any of these questions. We just start talking and it goes great. But I can give you the questions I might ask.
Yeah, for sure. And like for me, what I tell them is like, "Hey, I want to know about you before you're coming on. I don't
Hmm.
want it to be like a, hey, let's get your story." Now, some of these younger bands, they've maybe not have been on a lot of podcasts,
Yeah.
so like finding their root story. So oftentimes with some of those up and comers, we're like, "Hey, tell us your story. Let's find out." But like also then finding out like people's foundations, right? Like
Yeah.
where they got inspired from music or what they were listening to, and then you're like, "Oh shit, that makes so much sense now hearing your sound, like hearing what your story is,"
Hmm.
right? And so it's and that's what I love about it is like, "Hey man, I just want like I don't care if there's a camera or a microphone. If I would just have the chance to ask you these questions out in real life, believe me, I would try to do
Yeah.
that, right?" But like now that because there's a camera and a mic, like you're willing to jump on some link and like answer my questions, which is it's wild to me. I have imposter syndrome all the time because I'm
Yep.
like, why is this happening, right? And then all I have to
What's
do
the
is read the
reason for this?
comments. Yes, dude, 1,000%. Dude, it's because it is wild how well that turned out. Because what's crazy is I had that domain before Wargasm even came out.
Really?
Um, yes, so I had it for a marketing group. And it was like a Facebook group that I had started. Like, what's the reason for this? Because I used to tell people all the time that like marketing is an emotion,
Hmm.
right? And be genuine to a fault. Like, be who you are, because there's enough plastic in the world that if you create advertisements that give your true sense, then you're gonna attract that energy back, right?
Yeah.
And so I would ask them, like, what's the reason for this commercial, or what's the reason for this social media post? Like, what are you doing? And then, dude, when Wargasm came out, I was just like, oh my God. And I didn't do anything for 2 years with it. I was just like, that's fucking sick.
Yeah.
And then last year when we were thinking about doing the podcast, I was like, I knew it. I was like, it's called this. There's no fucking question. This is what it's called. It's what's the reason for this. Uh and it's been a fucking wild ride, man. It has been a
Yeah.
wild ride.
Your podcast name's way the story is way cooler than mine. Me and Chloe, my girlfriend, were just high on the couch, and she was like, "What about All Jammed Up?" And I was like, "That's perfect." And then like 15 minutes later, I had like started making like logos and stuff, and she was like, "Do you think people are gonna think that means constipated?" And I was like, "No, no one's gonna think that."
I didn't even think that, but now we need to make stickers for All Jammed Up, buddy. Like, and then somebody like rocking prune juice out of a moonshine jar. Let's go, 1,000%. I had Sickard Hollow on, and they were the first ones to ever do, like, dude, playing live music in my basement. Like, if you could see
Yeah, the
the
sessions,
the
those are cool,
unfinished,
man.
dude, it was wild. They're like, fuck yeah, man, let's go play. And we like rocked out. But I had them on, and we talked about it, and they're like, oh yeah, our alter ego is liquor swallowed. And they're like, sometimes we drink a little much, and then we just get up there and we get a little loose. And I was like, buddies, we need to make that a fucking sticker too. So
Yeah.
for all of our artist friends out into the world, make an All Jammed Up and a liquored swallow sticker. Get shit done.
I'm seeing those guys. I think they're playing with Leftover October 2nd here. And I'm
Dude, yes.
fucking stoked, dude. I've been wanting to see them for a while. That Alex King is the guitar player's name, right?
Alex King,
Dude,
dude,
he's a
ripper. And
shredder,
he's got a
yeah.
voice, and I
Yeah.
love his voice. But they're all shredders. Like Matthew, dude. I was just giving him shit because there was some video with him with Neighbor, and I was like, bro, why do you look like Officer Leahy from Trailer Park Boys? But then, like, dude, Persh, that the dude slaps the fuck. I've literally never asked a band to play any song ever when they come to play in the basement. But with Sickard Hollow, they had played 3 songs, and I was like, it was the first time that anybody had been here, and I was like, I'm fucking overstepping, but I'm just gonna do it. I was like, hey, you guys, is there any way that we could like get a song with a sick bass line? Just because I know we went and saw them the night before, and the dude just absolutely kills it. And they play an electric bass in a bluegrass band, so it just adds
Okay.
a whole different funk. And dude, they played the Pink Panther theme, and it slapped.
That's
Like,
hilarious.
literally, it was so sick. But it was like, okay, so those boys are different, and you need to check them out. I also know that they just released a new single called "Long and Winding Road." So
Okay.
we gotta support the young guys. Get them out
Yeah.
there. They're all amazing. Um, Even their mandolin player, buddy, like Will, they're all phenomenal musicians. They're great human beings. They're out of Nashville, so for you guys, if you have more people on the East Coast, they have a lot of tour dates. They just released a tour date. Our homie, Sax,
Hmm.
he did the Saxy print for that tour. So
Okay.
homies helping homies. Get shit done.
Yeah, that's like the coolest thing about this scene is like everyone's always working with somebody, getting something done with somebody else within it, and it's just like a nice little community. It's just what it is, and it's sick that the way that's the way it works here.
Well, and we need to lift each other up, right? Like, there's so
Absolutely, yeah.
much bullshit in the world, and like we all listen to music for different reasons. But for me, it's really where I get a lot of joy, right?
Hmm.
And so I just want to build a solid community. And so, like, you obviously, there will be a lot of people know, if for any fucking reason you got this far into the interview, it's more than likely because you know who I am, for some stupid fucking reason, which is either A, that I folded the poster in Asheville, or I threw the empty chairs in Denver. Um, but like, both of those things, what I was trying to do was start a conversation, right? And people think that, oh, I was doing it for the podcast. I didn't have the fucking podcast. Um, I was doing it because it's shit that we had seen on the scene forever, and I was fucking sick of it. Um, and like, I just wanted us to talk more about it. And so in Asheville, I got a little liquored up. We were in line. And I kept telling everybody because it was the third night. It was one of the first times they had done pre-merch. So I'd already bought my own
And this was for
poster.
Billy, right?
Yeah, it was for
Yeah.
Billy. I had flown out for Billy with a couple of my homies. Shout out to Jared and Nolan. And we were out there for 3 or 4 days, and it was the last day of the show. They did early merch, so I had finally gotten my third of the 3 night run. So I had my posters. And in line, I was like, we were obviously still there early because we're pathetic human beings and we go fucking wait in lines, even in cities that we've never been to before. But I was drinking in line, hanging out with people, and like being a drunk idiot. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. And we had talked about it before in renewal with Shay. um People were like, you have to go to the tent and then walk to a table and then like roll your merch up away from the merch tent. And I was holding up fake Olympic scorecards of how well people were rolling their posters and shit. And I was like, buddy, what if somebody was so fucked up that they just came and fucking folded that bitch? And I was in line and I was like, this is it, boys. This is the one. And they're like, what are you talking about? I was like, I'm going to fucking do it. And they're like, no, you aren't. And so all the people around me put in like $5 and I didn't even have to pay for the fucking poster. I went in and I bought it. Jared knew that it was going to fucking happen. So that's why he's sitting there recording,
Mm-hmm.
waiting because he watched the whole thing because he didn't know how I was going to do it. The girl next to me had no clue what was happening. She was further up in line, and when she saw me do it, because she goes to fist bump me, she's like, "Hell yeah, brother!" Because we're like one of the first people there, and I leave her hanging. And like none of this was on. I was just in fucking Will Ferrell mode, like blacked
Yeah,
out, like
yeah.
just what I'm doing.
You were committed to
She's
the
like,
bit.
"Ah, dude, 1,000%." And she tries to like fist bump me, and I fold it, and she goes, "Oh no!" And then I fold it again, and she goes, "Do you want me to put that in here?" And you can like see all of this in the video of her like asking, and then she's like, "What are you gonna do with it?" And I'm like, "I'm gonna put it in my back pocket, of course." And then I fucking evil laugh, and I walk into pit, and I put that bitch in my back pocket. Jared posted it somewhere. I don't even fucking remember where. And then the world just burnt, buddy. We were in pit and people were coming up to me like, "You're on the Belly Strings fan page. Everybody's fucking going nuts." And it was wild. And then there was some chick there and she was like, "Man, I can't afford a poster." And I was like, "Oh, fuck, here." And I pulled the fucking thing out and I gave it to her. That chick ends up going home. The internet is blowing up and she fucking thumbtacked it to her wall and
Hell
sent me a
yeah.
picture. And she's like, "The poster's safe at home." And I was like, that's fucking gangster. But what I was trying to tell people was like, poster flipping is part of the scene, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it has been for a long time. And for me, what I didn't like was you could go into another town and the same people are getting the limited edition foils and there's only so much you can do, and immediately it's going into a waffle group and it's selling for 5 times the value or whatever it is. And people would say shit like, "Oh, do you know how much that poster is worth?" And it's like, it's worth whatever I want to make it
Yeah.
worth, right? It's mine. I can do with it what I want. And like, okay, this wasn't like a super sought after poster. We didn't know at the time, right? And I just folded it to be like, fuck it, I can we it's my piece of paper, right? And it made people fucking cringe. And obviously like that was the point, was like that shock jock, and there was no other like idea behind it,
Now,
right?
was that
And then
before or after the chair?
before.
Okay,
So
this was
that was in
before.
February. That was in
Okay.
February. And then the chairs, I think, were the end of May or early June. I don't remember when those Billy shows were exactly.
So you'd already built
Um,
kind of a reputation as this wild dude at the Billy
bro,
shows.
so nobody knew who I was. They just knew the hat.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, the fucking yellow hat guy, Packers hat guy. That's the Packers hat guy. Are you the poster folder? Blah 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 blah." And then so the chair bit was, dude, if you go in, you can see the morning of, it was a hometown show for me. There's people commenting about all these empty chairs, and I'm like, God damn it. So I literally commented before any of this happened. I was like, I'm gonna go down there, I'm gonna fucking throw them. And that's what I ended up doing, right? And like, yes, I did tell people that I was throwing the chairs, right? And we did help the people that were there put them back. But what people don't realize is in that pop-up, that was my fucking pop-up. That big ass tub of Cheetos was my fat ass tubs of Cheetos. Okay. I was literally like fourth in line already. We were doing it to again start a
Yeah.
conversation. So many people think it's bullshit, but nobody wanted to like do anything about it. My favorite thing is meeting people at shows and they're like, Jesus Christ, you are a lot bigger than I thought you were. Cause I'm 6'4", 300 pounds. Like I'm a big fucking dude with a big personality. I am not the asshole that people think that I am, right? I will match some energy sometimes, but especially after I'm never gonna make a fool of myself. I'm never gonna hurt anyone or do anything like that. I will chirp, right? Like,
Yeah.
hey, I haven't seen you here all day, right? And like, because what's funny is like spending so much time in lines, you do that stuff, and then other people are like, yeah, fuck you, where are you coming from? And now these people that just try to like leech in or bleed in, right? You got to police the line. And it's fucked up that people think that they're entitled to a spot from an empty chair or because like, hey, two of my friends were here, so now 10 of us are showing up right before the show. Like, get the fuck out of here with that nonsense. Fuck those chairs. And so I did it to start a conversation, and obviously, like,
It worked.
fuck, it sure did, buddy. And it has started a lot of bad conversations too, but it's good because like we're more cognizant of it, right?
Hmm.
And like, dude, the greatest fucking thing was I didn't want to be like the one bit pony of like, oh, just refold posters and throw chairs all the time. I was at renewal, the last renewal last year, and I wasn't, we were doing the podcast, and many people are either coming up to me at the Night Zero show, talking about all the empty chairs, they're sending me messages. So then I go over there after the Night Zero show, and I walk up, and then the security guard goes, "Oh, you must be the boogeyman." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "They've been talking about you all day," and so for me, like even the fact that they were like worried about that, and what we did as a community was we gently relocated the chairs that were empty, and we moved all the people that were actually in line up. Do you know how fucking happy the people, there was 13-year-old boys that
Yeah.
had 20 chairs in front of them that were empty that then got in the top 10 because they were pushed forward. And like, that was cool because now they get a real experience and they get to like do this, and now that could create a lifelong fan, right?
Hmm.
And so as much as like I come off as this aggro dickhead, I promise that I just want it to be like inclusive in the community, and we can do better,
Yeah.
right? Like we can definitely do better.
And I feel like too, like the Billy Strings fans that are like on the rail, man, those guys are a little intense sometimes, and it's like they need to be knocked down a peg. Someone's got to do it.
Bro, I believe me, I got talked down for 45 minutes when I went to the Atlanta show, and I just let this person, I was like, hey, just fucking get it out, right? Like,
Hmm.
tell me how much you hate me. That's fine. I want to take it, but I want you to give me a chance to speak to you afterwards,
Yeah.
right? And so dude, some dude was like, holy shit, man. I left, went and got lunch, came back, and they were still fucking yelling at you. And I was like, yeah, man, shit happens. But then that person gave me the chance to give my 5 minutes. And what was wild was at that point, then they're like telling me, oh, you should ask Billy this, or you should do that, or do this. And it's like, bro, like, get the fuck out of here. Like, what the fuck? First off, like, that's not it. But, like, we need to understand that, like, yes, we all love music. We all have our thing, right? Whether
Hmm.
it's Billy or whether it's dogs or egg,
Taylor
like,
Swift.
there, everybody, yeah, well, I mean, fucking fish
For
kids.
somebody.
God, dude, a lot of buddies, okay? And like I have purposely been a dickhead to them because I just don't get it. But that's okay. Stop. I'm trying to be nice and loving, and then you bring up fish kids.
I
Uh,
said Taylor Swift. I said Taylor Swift.
oh, T Swizzle, bro! I got daughters. That's like my life,
I
buddy. I thought
I
you said
figured so.
fish. Yeah, man. But what's dope is my youngest daughter's favorite song is "Half Moon Rising" by Jeff Austin. Well, Yonder
Okay.
Mountain. So like, we're still good at that. But like, there's a space for all of us, right? And like
Hmm.
for me, what's super cool is when you have the rail. Like, yes, we put in time and we do that, but there are going to be people that like rush up and the drunk assholes that like push through. Fuck that. That's not cool. That happened in Billy. I think it was Minneapolis. There was I called him a shark, just like blackout drunk, just like could not stop moving, right? Just like kept trying to like cut through and get through. And it wasn't us, but somebody else on the rail was like, hey, this fucking guy keeps trying to barge in. Security was super cool. They tried to talk to him, tried to get him to like realize what was going on. He wanted nothing to do with it. They fucking put him out. Um, but then there were also like these teenagers that this was their first show, right? And then they went to go get up and rail for one song and like got to feel like that magic,
Yeah.
right? And that's the shit that's cool. And I feel like we all deserve a chance to share it. I also know that these people are putting in a bunch of time and that's worth something, right? But I think that we can be a little more inclusive. And that's myself admittingly as well, right? Like I'm not perfect. I definitely fucking hate at that same show, some chick came up. I hope to God it wasn't Jared Walker's girlfriend, but it very well could have been. Tried to come up and cut right in front of. So like my wife is 5'2" and I'm 6'4", so I usually put her up front, right? And
Yeah.
like, hey, you can have the space. Or I put my shorter friends. Shout out to Danny and Jared, even Nolan. We get all those boys up front because we can see over the top of them, right? Like it's not an issue. But then this chick came and like tried to like saucer right in front, and then she's like waving to people to like, and I was like, no. At that point, I'm gonna say something, and I said something. She didn't leave, and I will admit that I was likely going to continue to say something, but the dude next to us ended up like dealing with it in a different way than I would have. I would have just kept chirping, but she ended up fucking leaving. But that's also like we got to find a balance, right? And like people say like, "Hey, I paid for a ticket too." But it's also like, well, some of these people are spending hours in line. And then the opposite side of the coin is, well, I have to fucking go to work, right? So like I don't have this and I don't know what the answer is, but ultimately like inclusion is the ultimate answer. I don't know how to get there.
Yeah, I don't think there's like an easy answer too, because like you said, like everyone's circumstance at the show is different. Some people are enjoying the shows differently, extracurriculars, and like I mean, whether anybody wants to admit it or not, that plays a big difference in how people are acting at these shows.
Huge.
Yeah,
And I hate to be a jerk. Alcohol is the number
the
one
worst,
offender, but
the worst.
dude,
Yeah,
the at like some spunion can come out and I can like see in the gaze of their eyes that like, hey buddy, we're just gonna redirect you and get you back into a different galaxy
yeah.
and send you on your way. But like the drunkards, bro, because then some of them like they get confrontational and you're like, buddy, like look at where we're fucking at. Like
I
stop.
always say that, like, because I'm guilty. Like, I've been fucked up before and made an asshole of myself just off the booze. And I always say, like, alcohol changes my perception of me, and, like, drugs change the perception of, like, everything around me. And, like,
That's awesome.
yeah, I'm not going to become an asshole if I, eat some mushrooms, take a hit of acid or whatever. But if I drink 12 beers and someone's in my space, I might say something that I would never, ever say. And,
For
like,
sure. And
not that it makes
I
it
agree 100.
okay, but that's
No,
just the
no,
truth
for
of
sure.
it.
And I definitely admit like when I drank a lot, I was a fucking asshole, right? And
Yeah.
like now I have buddies that like have barely seen me drink or
Hmm.
haven't drunk. I definitely get after it in different ways now. Um and sometimes you do it with purpose or whatever. And I think that's just growth, right?
Yeah.
And I think ultimately a lot of it comes down to like yeah, we like to party and have fun, but I think the cool thing about music is also like the trauma bonding, right? And
Hmm.
like all the bullshit that we've gone through or the hurt that we have, whether that music is a way for us to help express that pain or cover it or whatever it may be, like you can make those connections with people and it's super cool to see those stories and to see like hey, music really helped me or whatever it was or this person or this community and you see it in all of these different communities and that's the shit that we should focus on, right? Not fucking empty chairs.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. And even the fish kids, man. Even the fish kids.
Although those fucking glow sticks could poke an eye out. They got it. No, I'm kidding, buddy. Like I was in that Minneapolis show. I folded one of the posters and I threw it as a paper airplane from the second fucking floor. And dude, people were, you could have really hurt someone. I was like, bro, well, first off, it fucking death spiraled. And if you look, I did fucking fold the nub of the front of it because I didn't want to kill anyone. But I think that that is the double-edged sword of social media because, like, buddy, it's fucking terrible because no matter, even like a band, you can be an amazing band and put out great content, but if you don't have a social media presence, a lot of people do not fucking know who you
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, cool, like I'm playing in a room with six people. Those six people really love me, right? But like, how do you keep getting in front of new people? And social media is it. And for me, I definitely have created a reputation of some of the shock jock shit, like fucking stapling a Sperry to my wall. It's just it's shit that gets people riled up. But for me, it's like, man, what you don't understand is at the Dillon Amphitheater, it was raining dick all day long. The fucking merch staff dropped this box of Sperry's. So every single Sperry that was sold at Dillon, the upper right corner is soft. It's fucking soft. It is. There's nothing you can do about it. If you cyber stalk me enough, you can go into the Sperry groups and find me showing a spooning technique to flatten that corner to make it better so that you can get rid of some of these crumples. And this was all before the podcast or any of this shit. I was making videos and doing shit like that before. And so you can't see that it's a damaged poster, and people just be like, fuck, what are you doing? It's like, well, like, that's the fucking point, right? And I did it while we had Owen Murphy here, which was a poster artist, and then we had the Trips event in Denver the following day. So it makes sense, right?
The fact that people get upset about what you do with your poster is mind-blowing to me.
I think it's just a power trip, buddy. And I think that's the same thing with like the gatekeeping and rail riding and all this stuff. It's like control,
Yeah.
right? Like people want control, and control over themselves isn't enough.
Hmm.
So they want to put
These
more out
people
there
typically
to
don't have control over themselves.
1,000%. So
That's
that's
what,
what I'm
yeah,
saying. So
yeah.
since they can't control themselves, they're like, well, I'm going to use my crazy to fucking control you. And you're like, well, that
That's not
makes no
working
sense
either.
at all. Yeah, no, like Michael Jackson said, it's the man in the mirror, right? Like you need to be able to look at yourself at the end of the day and be like, hey, am I good with what I'm doing? And that is like my compass.
Yeah.
Always and forever is like, am I proud of what I'm doing? Like, am I hurting anyone? I've never gone out in to hurt anyone or intentionally hurt anyone's. Maybe your feelings, but if that's the case, then we should have a conversation. And that's where I always tell people, like, I'm more than willing. Dude, people talk shit in the comments all the time. I'm like, hey, come on the podcast. Let's have you on. I'd love to chat with you, right? And then they're like, oh yeah, 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 and then they fucking disappear. And it's like, I think with the internet, there's a lot of anonymous accounts where people can
Hmm.
hide behind the anonymity. But like you and I, we're putting our faces behind this shit, right?
That
Like
dude,
in our
Phantom of the
voices.
Booth. Phantom of the Booth. Have you seen that dude? He's doing
Oh,
some
dude,
crazy shit up there.
Boof. So listen, I Boof. God damn it. So when him and Red Daisy had some shit go down,
Oh yeah.
I I tried to talk to both of them because like I had a relationship with both of them. I was obviously much closer with Jack at
Hmm.
Red Daisy than I was with Boof, but I talked to Boof and like I treated him like a real fucking person. And we now chat all the time, and he has thanked me because he's like, "Man, nobody treated me the way that you did during all this shit." And I was like, well, yeah, but you also like I was just trying to help you like see because there's like threatening messages. He's like, how is this threatening? I'm like, buddy, let's just fucking read this, okay? Okay, what do you think? And he's like, all right, I kind of fucking understand. I'm like, yeah, dude, like fuck, like, and I kept telling them like the two of you guys just need to fucking apologize to each other and move on. But I also think it's different spectrums because like Jack is doing something completely different with Red
Yeah.
Daisy, right? And like
He's like
Boof
very
is like that.
professional, like very legit.
Yes, and then Boof is like the dark corner of the fucking bathroom
Yeah.
at the venue, right? And it's like, dude, but also like we all know that dark corner and we can associate with that, which is why we like his
I
content
laugh.
as
Yeah.
well.
It's funny.
Dude, it's his shit is great and like I don't ever want us to be seen as like promoting drug use, right?
Hmm.
Like I totally understand that. But I think that there are also healthy ways to experience life,
And
right? And
understanding it's
to
part of this, like it is part of the scene, and like there's a correct and an incorrect way to do it.
Dude, 1,000%. But that's also where like the stigma of like Narcan and
Hmm.
testing strips, right? Like it's fucking wild. I hear from these EDM kids, right? There it's like, hey, they won't let like the bunk police into this festival. And it's like, why? Why wouldn't you fucking want people
Yeah,
to A, have the drug that can help people with an opiate overdose? Or B, test their stash to see if they're going to fuck themselves up. Like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like that's an obvious, man. Like, talking about fish kids, I did one of my first episodes was on Fish Dick's lot, and I literally brought freezer gallon bags full of Narcan and test strips, and anybody that walked by, we would just give it to them. And what we need to do is we need to make sure that we're not promoting something bad, but promoting things in a positive manner. And like, if somebody takes Narcan, they don't always have to take it for themselves, right? Like, we've
Hmm.
been at shows when somebody goes down and they're like, fuck, what if your girlfriend having that fucking Narcan spray in her purse saved that dude's
Somebody
life?
else, yeah.
Like, that
It
should be a
benefits
fucking
everybody to have it,
obvious.
yeah.
1,000%. But the problem is in some states, it can actually be considered paraphernalia, which is fucking wild. Like,
Yeah, that is
wild.
wild.
But that's where like we have what's the reason for this, right? Like we
Yeah,
have to have these conversations, we have to talk about people, and then like and it's more than just Boof and fucking I'm not Billy Strings putting out a hat that says I got Narcan at Billy
yeah.
Strings, right? Like, god damn it, which is fucking hilarious. Like that shit. But I can also see why it turns people off,
Hmm.
right? And so like it's this. And to be perfectly honest, you know this, Clint, you're not gonna make everybody happy, buddy.
Nope.
Like you're just not. So
And if you
I
do, it
feel
won't
like,
make you happy. If you try to, it's not going to make you happy.
oh bro, I was a douche in a suit forever. I was a corporate sales trainer. Like I put on masks and I fucking hated my life.
Hmm.
I just hated my life. And so during COVID, I quit. Um, and I took a COVID layoff and I moved my family out of the country for 2 years and we fucking traveled and I started a marketing agency with my wife, and we just got shit done.
Yeah.
Um, and it's been pretty fucking amazing, buddy. Today I posted a short from our interview with Owen Murphy, and he talked about blowing a gasket. He's like, "Man, I haven't blown a gasket in a while," and I was like, "Buddy, I've never heard of that term. I absolutely know exactly what you're talking about." And dude, it's just it's shit like that, right? Because now it's something that you can connect with. Like we
Hmm.
all either have or have had a friend that like blew a fucking gasket and went a little too hard, a little too quick, and you got to like put your shit back together. And so that was a big learning moment for me, and I think that it's good for us to fail, right?
Yeah.
Because you learn more from your failures than you do your success. Like if we just did this shit and everything was fucking great and hunky dory, what would you really learn? Be like, oh, I'm just fucking doing whatever I thought I
Yeah.
was doing. But when you fuck up or you don't record properly or your sound is dick or your connection sucks or whatever the fuck, everything has happened, right? Like everything happens. I think you learn more from fucking up, and I think it's even bigger of you to have to figure out how to fucking own it and then really learn from it.
Hmm. Absolutely, man. Yeah. I feel like I fucked up a lot and just getting better at interviewing too. Like I feel like I've interviewed people and I finish it and I'll be like, what the fuck was I doing? Like you're just like not there and you get better at it. But you got to fall on your face a few times first.
Well, and I think the biggest thing for me was I needed to learn how to shut the fuck up and let them cook, right? Like,
Hmm.
it's your get, like, yeah, it's your show, but it's for the guest, right?
Yeah.
And like, you, it's hard. Like for me, what I try to do is like, although I don't have a list of questions, right? Like I have an idea of where I want the conversation to go,
Hmm.
but what you have to do is you have to navigate that conversation through their stories, right? So you have to like ask the questions to get them to respond, but then you got to pull them back to like, hey, because the thing that I hate the most when I listen to podcasts is when a question is asked but it's never answered,
Yeah.
right? Because like somebody goes off on a tangent and you're like, hey, wait, let's get back to here. And what about this, right? And like I think that's been fun for me is trying to figure out like how to do that and when to jump in. I feel bad for my co-host because I mean, I'll speak over him all day long.
Hmm.
I'll cut off my guests, and I tell him all the time, buddy. I'm like, dude, just fucking jump in, bud. You just gotta jump in and do it. But dude, we started this as a passion, right?
Yeah.
Like that's all that this is.
Yeah, I interviewed this dude, Wright Thompson, who's like he's an ESPN like senior writer, but he's like a big deadhead, was like following Panic in like the 90s in France. And I heard him on another podcast, and they just like briefly got into that, like 1 minute of the podcast. So I just DM'd him, and I was like, "Yo, I heard about this. Would you want to come to my podcast?" And he was like, "Yeah." And then he's in media, like he's ESPN. So I, like when we finished the interview, I was like, "Hey man, like I just have a couple questions. Like, what advice would you have for me?" And he was like, "When I'm answering a question, don't look at your notes to be prepared for the next question. Listen to me." And I was just like, "Yes, sir, you got it."
Yep.
And like
Well,
I
because
feel
that's
like since then I've been such a like I'm like he's totally right, and I've been like such a better interviewer since then.
well, and then that's the thing is like people think, oh, podcasts, they think it's like audio sometimes, right? But like when you're video, you have to like put it out there, right? And
Hmm.
it's like, oh, well, what shirt am I gonna wear? What? Thank God I wear the same hat all the time.
Yeah,
So that
don't
makes
hear that
it
every
makes it
time.
yeah. So it makes it easy for me, but it's definitely hard, and I think that's why we get to continue to grow and get better is because I don't know about you, but for me, it's never good enough, right? And it's like,
Hmm.
hey, what can I do? Like, how can I get better? People can also help us by telling us how to get better. As much as I talk about the haters, I have taken what they've said and put it to action to say, hey, look, they had something to say about that, and that makes sense. And so you learn and grow, and you eat crow when you need to, and um, you have to admit that you're going to fuck up. My one of my favorite quotes from my football coach was success is fear or failure without fear. So like you are going to fail. But there are so many people in life that are so worried about even starting something
Yeah,
because they think they're going to fuck it up.
me
Go
for
fuck it
28
up.
years.
Yeah, dude, but that's
Yeah.
it. Like I literally have he signed a $2 bill with that on it, still in my wallet. Um, and it makes so much sense because like I'm a fucking risk taker, man. Like
Hmm.
I'll just go jump in and do something. And for like my wife, it's like the polar opposite of her personality. She needs to like have a detail of what
Yep.
everything's gonna go
Same
on
here,
and what
buddy. Yep.
dude. And for me, it's like no, I'm just gonna fucking do it. And my mom said that they're gonna put this on my headstone. I always say we'll figure it out.
Yep.
Like it, whatever fucking happened. Guess what? Good, bad, or ugly, we're gonna figure it out, right? And like it's sometimes it's hard and fucking blood, sweat, and tears are fucking real, but eventually you do figure it out. And not and then I already told you earlier, I don't know shit about fuck, right? But I do know that I don't know anything.
Yeah.
And that helps me. And then what's super cool is like reaching out to other people. And as you build those connections, dude, Andy Frasco, when he was here and kissed me, he spent 20 minutes rigging up our fucking mics. And I was like, God damn it. Like, Grammy nominee fucking Andy Frasco is fucking trying to fix my microphones at this stupid podcast. And so I joked I was gonna send him a text message, be like, "Hey, buddy, we got legit microphones and fucking we're actual like real people now." Uh, and but like you learn, and what you find out is some people give a shit, but a lot of people don't.
Yeah. Funny story about Frasco. When I interviewed him, that was like kind of a shot in the dark too. Another one where I was just like, this guy's not gonna want to do it. But like, I sent the text on Instagram, and like before I could get out of the message, he had already replied. Like, sure, bud, hit up this person. And then he pulls up my house, and I live like in a roundabout kind of. And he has a show that evening, and this motherfucker pulls up with his fucking whole tour rig
Tour, yep.
slapping trees and shit. And I'm like, yo, you can't park here. And he was like, yeah, they're going to drop me off. We'll figure it out on the way out of here. And I ended up giving him a ride back to the venue after we finished the interview.
Dude, Frasco's the shit.
He was
He's
the man,
like
yeah.
dude, people rag on that dude, but he is the hardest working motherfucker. Like that dude is always on the grind. And I
Hmm.
don't know how he does it, but like he's also one of the coolest fucking dudes. And
Yeah.
he's the reason people want to blame. Go blame Andy Frasco. Because after the chair throwing, he had me on his podcast. And he's like, hey, buddy, you have the personality for this. And I was like, And it took me 3 months, but eventually I was like, fuck it. And he's like, you can do this, man. And he has been nothing but fucking supportive. And I know that he had shot me a message after he met with you, and he's like, hey, that Clint's a fucking great dude. And I was like, yeah, man, I've messaged him before. And he's like, it's good to see people connecting within the community. And
Oh,
like,
that's
that's what it
nice.
should be about, right?
Yeah.
Like there's enough room for all of us. Like there's more than enough room for everyone to play nicely and to help each other. Like I don't know, I don't understand why. Like I there's this awesome dude in North Carolina that I've been chatting with, and I chatted with him because of the podcast, and he was messaging me like songs and stuff. And I was like, dude, you need to, like, you have a passion for this. Cause this dude is bringing up deep cuts that, like, I didn't even remember. And then I was like, oh, wow, I do remember this song. And so he started something called Tonal Range Radio.
Okay.
And it's super dope. The kid is amazing. He's just starting to pick it up, but like I told him, man, anything that I can do because you're helping promote the community, man. You're helping promote
Hmm.
music. He wants to get some of these younger bands out. He streams younger bands on his radio station. And it's fucking awesome. And that's what this community should be about. We need more people like that. We need the bigger people to help bring up the smaller people, and like I've had people reach out and be like, "Hey, what do I do?" And I'm like, "Here's what you need to do." And sometimes that information can be misconstrued, and people can apply it how they want. But I think at the end of the day, what you already know, buddy, is this fucking music scene. This is what's up. I fucking love it,
Hell
and I know
yeah,
you do too.
absolutely. Yes, I do. We've been
That's what's up.
we've been talking about the music though for like an hour now, and you're good on time, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We've been talking about the music for forever. Love the music. But you got the Green Bay hat. Today it starts. When this comes out Monday, it's going to be after the first week of the season. Let's talk football.
What we want to know? Fuck the Motor City Kitties. Let's go. Uh,
So,
wait. So
are you
so
from
so
Green
North
Bay?
Carolina. Bro, I'm from Hawaii. So
What the
it fucks,
fuck?
dude, yeah, buddy, it fucks everybody up all the time. They're like, wait, what part of Wisconsin are you from? I'm like, the big island of Hawaii.
And you say
And they're like,
you
what?
have like that Northeast or Midwest buddy a little bit too. You say that.
Well, so, dude, I spent 10 years, and all of my fucking Minnesota folk would be like, oh, I moved to the Midwest as a teenager from Hawaii.
Okay.
And then I left in 2012, so I was, what, 27? Something like that.
Okay.
So fucking
So
yeah,
you were a
it
kid
was.
during Brett Favre years.
So yeah, dude, that's how I became a fan. So
Okay.
living in Hawaii, everybody was a Cowboys or a Niners fan
Yep.
because you were just dealing with Joe Montana and then Steve Young and then Troy Aikman and all that shit.
Hmm.
So then I love the color green. And it just happened that Brett Favre was out there making fart jokes with his center, Frank Winters. And as a little boy, I thought that shit was hilarious. And it just worked out, right?
Yeah.
I got lucky. They ended up winning. Dude, I was wearing a cheese head in Hawaii in 1996. I remember when I was 10 years old in 1995, they lost to the Cowboys in the playoffs. But for Christmas, my mom had got me a starter jacket, the Green Bay Packers starter jacket with like the Velcro and everything. It's 85 and sunny every fucking day where I'm from,
Yeah.
right? But I wore that fucking starter jacket for like 3 years, buddy. Like just locked in. So I absolutely love football. I could not be happier with my team currently. But we have to figure out for me to properly talk shit. Who's your squad?
I'm a Tampa Bay Bucks fan, baby, through and through.
Uh, dude, the former NFC
Yeah.
Central. So
Battle of the
so
Bay.
dude, for sure. Fucking Warren Sapp there, dude, Mike Allstott. Like there was
Derek
some
Brooks,
good old.
Simeon Rice, Rondé Barber. They had a
Yep. And well,
squad
and then
back
you
in the
guys got your Brad Johnson Super Bowl, right?
worst
Like
quarterback to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, man. Well, and then I used to, because I live in Denver now, so I used to give shit to people before Peyton Manning won his other Super Bowls. He won it against Rex Grossman, fuck the Bears,
Hmm.
with the worst quarterback rating of any quarterback in Super Bowl history. So the only person that Peyton Manning had ever beaten in the Super Bowl was Rex Grossman, who was literally the worst ever. So I like to bring that up. Now I have to eat my words because he ended up having like the greatest offensive season of all time. But you know, it is what it is. But I love football, just like music, man. It's wild because like as I talk shit about fish kids, like I will shit on the Bears and Vikings and Lions every chance that I get. I wear this Packers hat everywhere. And so people are always ready to chirp, right?
Hmm.
And I'm like, oh, are you it's usually Chicago. I'm like, oh, are you a Bears fan? And they're like, no, no. I'm like, all right, which one? The Vikings or the Lions? Because nobody else gives a shit, right?
Yeah.
And then when it's the Lions, it's like, oh, that's cute. You've been irrelevant for 30 years, right? And then when it's the Vikings, it's like, okay, you guys have literally never won. There's no conversation to be had here. For the Bears, just so that they're warned, I always ask them, I'm like, oh, hey, can I see your hands? And then they point out, I'm like, oh, what color are you going to paint them when they start winning? Uh, Dude, it locks people down. And as of a loudmouth as I am, I do not talk shit unless I am engaged first.
Yeah.
But if you come at me, bro, I will fire away. So as a Bucks fan in Carolina, how is that?
So I was born in Virginia, and then
So shouldn't you be a Redskins fan?
my dad is from Florida, and
Ah,
he grew up in St. Pete, but he was always a Dolphins fan. So when I was a kid, I liked the colors. He was a Dolphins fan, so I was like, I'm gonna like the other team, the Bucks. And then I just stuck through them forever. And then when we signed Tom Brady, it was like during COVID, and I was just out of college, and I was like, dude, fuck it, I'm moving to Tampa. Like I didn't have a job I cared about, so I moved to Tampa and lived there for like 4 years. I just moved to Asheville last year, so I was in Tampa for the whole Brady time for the Super Bowl, and I lived like 10 minutes from the stadium, so I would go to so many of the games. And we're doing Billy Strings Huntsville 3 nights, and then the Bucks play in New Orleans that Sunday after that. So we're gonna shoot
you're
to
gonna drive down there?
yeah, we're gonna go to New Orleans, and then we're going to Halloween right after that. So it's gonna be a
Oh God, the Bermuda Triangle of Death. Your body is gonna love you.
yes. Well, we're gonna take Monday and Tuesday off and just like find somewhere to camp or something. But it's gonna be a fun trip. We're
And
stoked.
drink water. Lots of water.
Yeah, lots of water. I probably won't drink at all for Billy Strings. Probably the football game because you kind of got to at a football game. But
Oh, dude, you got to hear those cannons fire, baby.
yeah, I don't really drink. Like I feel like I don't really drink that much at shows anymore. It's just like I don't know.
Yeah, I told you I definitely don't, and it changed the experience. But you're 1,000% right. Football games is a whole different
Yeah.
beast. I was when I was a douche in a suit, I used to bring clients to games all the time, and I was doing keto, and it was a Christmas game, or close to Christmas game, and I had this. I call him Ghetto Santa, but I had like a gold chain that said "Ho ho ho." I had this mask and all this stuff, and I came with a belt of Fireball and a handle of Fireball, and I would let people drink the shots, the individual shots, and then I would swig from the handle. Bro, I got shit faced before this game, and I go inside. I'm keto. So I buy a chicken sandwich and I take the meat out of the chicken sandwich. I had to take off my Santa beard and I'm fucking mashing on this chicken of this chicken sandwich. Fucking CBS put me on the television and the guy he goes, he looks like a young Mike Piazza. That chicken sure looks delicious, and I'm just fucking blasted, buddy. My phone just starts blow. Are you at the Broncos game? What's and I'm like, oh no. People start sending me screenshots and fucking, and I was like,
That's
God damn it.
hilarious.
But
We
yeah,
should
getting
make
shit faced.
we should make a friendly wager. Who wins more games, Bucks or Packers?
Oh well, I don't want to take whatever your friendly wager is, but I'll gladly do it. So yes, please.
All right, we
I'm all
gotta.
about it.
We can like.
What we should do if we had done this before was we should have done like a pick 'em league where we just get a bunch of us that we like pick the
Yeah,
winners of different games. But now, buddy,
like a
next
survivor
year.
pool. It's too late. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And then like we can have people in. Well, for next year, we should definitely do that and get people in. I'm in. Have you ever heard of a guillotine league?
Mm-mm.
So I'm in a guillotine league with a bunch of Billy Strings kids. But so it's like 18 teams. And for the first 8 weeks, if you lose, people get kicked out of the league. And then their roster goes into the free agency, and then it's pretty dope.
Oh,
So it's a fun way to do it. But yeah, man, like what I was gonna say about like talking shit about fish kids and like football, it's so great because you like have these rivalries, right? And like you have bands that, oh well, because growing up, like you couldn't like string cheese if you liked widespread panic or whatever dumb shit people would come up with. Like you can't like the Grateful Dead and Fish,
yeah.
although I definitely fall into that fucking category. Um, but but like it's cool because like the fandom is similar, right? Like we rile each other up. We're like fucking
We
diehards. We know
dress
all of
up.
our fight songs. Yeah, we dress up. We know the players. We like know their stories, and it's similar to like the music. It's like, oh, I got to get their new merch or I got to get their poster. It's
Yeah.
like I fucking ordered a Micah Parsons jersey before they even had a number. I was like, I don't give a fuck what it is. Just take my money and send me a jersey once it gets figured out. And dude, I am so stoked to be disappointed again, because the Packers are great at getting close but not getting there recently. And obviously, I've been lucky enough to see two Super Bowl wins in my lifetime and a Super Bowl loss. Um, but dude, you're fucking spoiled little dickhead with Tom Brady coming into town,
You know what's
and
funny
now you
too?
got Baker.
The day that we signed Tom Brady, I put $100 bet on the Bucks to win the Super Bowl, and I got like $1,400.
Dude, it paid.
And I was a broke boy in Tampa who needed that money at that time.
Dude, and that's awesome because it's like we believe, right? And
Yeah,
and it's funny because like similar to like the community that we build within music, like the community from sports and football, like it's the same thing like wearing a band shirt out and like of course there's like, oh, name your favorite song or what are three songs from that band. But there's other people like, yeah, fuck yeah, you like them
yeah.
or what's that? And it's the same thing like, oh, you like the Packers? Fuck you. But I can't tell you how many times I've gotten to Go Pack Go all over this country because
hmm
of this hat.
I mean, people say the Cowboys are America's team, but like I think you could argue that the Packers are. People love the Packers.
Bro, they're just corn fed. I think
Fan
realistically,
owned,
like,
like it's cool.
dude, and people talk shit about. I'm a two-time owner. I got two worthless pieces of paper. Okay, I get two emails. It's very special. But it's dude, it's wild. It's so much fun. But then it's like gone, right? And then you're like waiting. It's like waiting for, okay, tour ended. When's the next tour being released? Like, it's
Yeah.
just always chasing the dragon. And even in 2010 when we won, like dude, it was so great, but it only lasted for like 3 or 4 months, and then it's like, all right, now you got to do
Gotta
it
go
again.
again.
And
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about with
yeah,
them. Like because they if you work your whole life to win a championship and then you win it and you get like that weeks to celebrate and it's like back to work. Gotta go get another one or gotta go fight for my contract.
dude, and that's what's wild is it's like a mindset, right? And
Yeah.
they just fight through it, and so like I absolutely love it. It's wild because like in my lifetime, the coverage of the game and the extension of the NFL season,
hmm
like it is now an all year round thing. Like
Fucking
I
awesome.
loved it. Dude, it is sweet. And it's like you're always chasing the dragon. And like I just watched that Netflix documentary, America's Team,
Yeah.
about the Cowboys.
hmm
And like Jerry talking about like, hey, it's the soap opera that never ends.
Yeah.
And like for the Cowboys fans, it sure as shit is. And thank you, Jera, for sending me Micah Parsons. Because, dude, I was in a work meeting and I had 47 text messages. And I was like, what the fuck is going, like somebody died.
Yeah.
Something fucking happened. And no, it's like every single person fucking telling me Micah Parsons. And I was like, oh, fuck, I got to go to the bathroom. So I immediately ran, fucking fired away a few texts, went back, finished my meeting. I'm driving home with my wife, and she goes, I have never seen you so happy before. And I was like, you don't understand what just fucking happened. Like, first off, like a player of that caliber, right? But then like our franchise, we don't do shit like that.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay, you've signed people, you've done this. Like Josh Jacobs last year, I thought that was fucking amazing.
He was a
And then
beast
for
too.
us to, dude, a machine, and for us to go out and get Micah Parsons, like that became like that is fucking real. And now, ear to ear, buddy. Like I don't even give a shit. Disappoint me. I'm so fucking happy right now. Uh, but it's only week one, right? And so we don't know. Hopefully, we beat the shit out of the Lions. If we didn't, it was probably on some bullshit. It definitely wasn't because we played bad. Um,
That'll be
who are the
fun to
Bucks
revisit
playing?
Monday. The Bucks play
Yeah, exactly.
Falcons, so we should be good, I think.
Ah, yeah, buddy, you should be totally fine.
I think we have a
Penix.
pretty. We play like the Bills, the Eagles. I think we play the 49ers again. We don't have a crazy hard schedule this season. We had a pretty hard one last year, but we
Well,
beat
and your
the.
division isn't super strong. Like, think
Yeah, they
about, dude,
suck. You guys have the hardest division in the other than maybe like the AFC North. They're pretty good.
bro, it's wild. It is wild, and that's where it's like, okay, we won so many games last year. We lost four, and then we had only won one division game, and that came on a fucking missed kick against or a block kick on Chicago.
Yeah.
So like it's wild. And but I tell people like we're still the youngest team in the league. For you guys, I think that you have an easier route to get there. Baker's a gangster.
I
I
bet on him
love
to
the
be
fire.
MVP this year.
Dude, Baker, he's like for somebody like that dealt with Aaron Rodgers, where you were just like, just fucking give a shit, like a
Yeah.
little bit, just fucking have some fire in your belly, and like for you guys to have Tom Brady in his fucking glory and breaking iPads and fucking getting after it, and then bringing in Baker, like it's a match, it's a match, and it's dope to see him because obviously Cleveland did him dirty. And it's cool that he got his second chance after leaving the Rams to come and get shit done with the Bucks. Hopefully, we could play in the playoffs, and then we can put something real fucking
Yeah,
on the
that would be
line.
fun. I saw a stat today that like 83% of the Bucks team was drafted by the Bucks.
I see, and that would make sense. I feel like that's what I've dealt with for a franchise forever. Is like, hey, just draft and train them up, just get them up, build them up, and like we never got big. We never went after big free agent signings. We never made trades. And that's honestly why I feel like the Packers, we don't have an owner. So the person that runs it is a president. The old president was Mark Murphy. They just got rid of him. He retired. So we have a brand new president. And I feel like we are going fucking full throttle. They're saying, hey, we want to win. And so the pressure is on. And for me, I'm just stoked. Just like going to a show, right? Like you can have an idea of what's coming, but you never know what's going to happen until it does. And I'm looking forward to seeing how this rolls out.
Yeah, we'll have to brainstorm some ideas for our bet, but we'll be in touch about that. Um,
1,000%. And we'll let the people know. Or maybe what we
let
do
the
is we
people
let the
decide.
people
Yeah,
let
I
the
like that.
people decide.
Get a
Right?
draw
Oh
some
God. I'm
engagement
sure
online.
oh bro, I'm sure I'm gonna get all the fucking worst suggestions and Clint's like, they're gonna be like, eat a pizza. I'll be like, fuck you guys. Like but yes, 1,000%. I think we should 1,000% leave it up to the people and we can do some stupid shit. Obviously, I'm 1,000% down as long as we're
Cool,
safe.
cool. Um, we're getting pretty long on time here, but I just want to ask you one more question. Are you
It's
Honey
all good,
Hole
buddy.
Music and Magoobers?
I am not Honey Hole Music and I am not Magoobers.
Okay, okay.
I am neither. So I am homies with the boys in Magoo
Uh-huh.
and with their team and shit like that. And obviously, uh, I fucking love them, right? And I
Did you
promote the
do
shit
the
out of
Fair
them.
Abraham video? Did you do
I
that?
sure as fuck did do the Farrah Abraham video, dude. And their manager messaged me. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I was like, "Please just trust me." Fucking Farrah Abraham follows us now, so let's go.
That's so
But
funny.
dude, yeah, I shock, right? Like try to do some
Yeah,
stupid shit and people are like, what the fuck? But it works, right? Like it works. So I need to give a proper shout out to who those people actually are. So Isaac or Bob, whatever you want to go for, he lives in Idaho Springs. He is a huge Magoo fan. If there's somebody who's been to as many Magoo shows as Shay and myself, it's him. And Honey Hole Music is actually a dude named Alex. Um, I met Alex at a Magoo show last November. We had been texting just like we did on Instagram. And he's like, oh, hey, you live in Denver. I live in Denver too. I was like, oh, dude, you like music? Come check this band out. So we went and saw the Tonewood String Band and Magoo. And it was actually the show that Shay passed out at. And that was the first time that I met Alex. And then from then, we became friends. And so we go to a bunch of shows together and he likes to shoot music and goes to similar music. He is a huge Fish kid, so we differ on that. But yeah, man, they're just real people. But because of the anonymity, people fucking think that shit all the time. They're like, "Oh, this is you," and sometimes, Clint, I'm not gonna lie, I wish I did it behind the veil, right? And like
Yeah.
people didn't know who I was or what was going on. I feel like it would be a lot easier, at least mentally, right, to not have to deal with that and the personal attacks. But at the end of the day, I'm proud of what I'm doing. I love those two because they're in it for the same reasons that we are, right?
Yeah.
They want to promote good music. They just want to get out there. And so for me, the fucking Magoo boys are it, man. And I've known it. I've known it for 2 years, and they're
I
hot.
saw
They're
them
just
the other day with Sons of Stars, who's like you like Magoo, local guys. Sons of Stars is like my guys that I love, and the fact that they got to play together, I was just fucking stoked, dude. They ripped it. It was
two
awesome.
worlds collide. We should have done a dual podcast with the two of them and had them interview, and we could do it all together next time.
That's a good idea. That's an idea.
But yeah, man, it's fucking dope. I'm proud of those guys, and they deserve all the accolades that they're getting. I know they're working on a new album. The biggest thing was getting on Nugs, because I would tell people all the time, like, their Spotify, it doesn't show you who they are, because these boys jam.
Yeah,
They
were
jam.
awesome.
Yeah, it's sick.
Cool, Cody. Well, man, this has been a fucking blast. Dude. I'm glad we got to do it. The next time we do it, we got to make it happen in person.
1000%,
One way or
buddy.
another. Maybe Billy will announce us some Asheville shows, and we can get you over here for those.
Well, I'll definitely come back to Asheville because I ended up going to Atlanta because I thought that the Asheville shows weren't going to happen because of Hurricane Helene. And of course, I couldn't have been more fucking wrong, but I was already locked in. So I was like, oh, I'll go to another city. But no, dude, Asheville is it. I fucking love it. I have a lot of homies out there. Not if, but when Billy announces some more Asheville dates, I will definitely get my way out there.
Hell yeah. Well, Cody, thanks so much. And guys, go listen to the podcast. What's the reason for this?
Let's go.
You just got jammed.
Welcome back from that interview with Kodi Nottingham. That dude's fucking wild. Cool dude, though. Funny interview. If you have any ideas for the wager that we suggested, drop them in the comments, message me on DMs, on Instagram, whatever you guys do, do it. Have a great week. We'll be back on Thursday with Tide Eye. They're a psychedelic, psychedelic rock band from California, and that's a pretty interesting episode as well. Those guys are fun. So keep an eye on that for Thursday. Have a great week. We'll see you again then, and remember, wherever you are right now is exactly where you're supposed to be.
Come along, have a drink with me. We can talk about the world and how the world is turned so slow. Day and night I found cars they drive and planes they fly. I look into the sun and the sky, you're so bright. It's you that I have found. Oh, and I know there's not much longer now. Or if the world would just slow down. Stars, they sail across the sky, and I could watch you dance all through the night. When the rhythm is right, oh, and I know the sun is rising now. Or if the world would just slow down. With me and I'll move with you, and I could spend the rest of my life by your side. It's you that I have found. Oh, and I know not much longer now. or if the world would just slow down. There's not much longer now. Or if the world would just slow down.